Welcome to Eternal Journey, the podcast.
Greetings, all my knights and padawans. Welcome to Eternal Journey, the podcast that talks about all things eternal with a focus on limited play. I'm your host, Jedi. This week is episode 76 of the podcast, where we're going to be doing a Argent Depths draft walkthrough. That's right. We've had pretty good reviews about the ones we've done for the previous format, so we will be doing this one for every format going forward. And pretty much by we I mean the Eternal Journey crew. By we I mean John and Alex, both joining me on the line. What's up, guys?
Yo,
what's up, fellas?
Good, man. Good to be back. I missed you guys. I went on vacation, and having a week without you guys in my life, I felt like there was a void there that I just couldn't fill. So I missed you guys.
right there with you.
Yep. Ditto.
Missed all these lovely folks out there too.
No doubt. All you listeners right now that are listening to us, however you listen to this podcast or watch it, then by all means, we appreciate you. I will say this one thing, because we are going to be doing a full draft on this show. You're more than welcome to listen to it. I will do the best I can of describing the packs to you in full, as well as remind you what our deck looks like. But I do encourage you to check us out on the YouTube, where you can see the video version of this show. That's right. Just look up Eternal Journey on YouTube, or youtube.com/EternalJourney, and you will find us with this episode. If you want to also catch us live, go to twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ, where you can catch us every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, doing all kinds of great limited stuff with some occasional constructed stuff thrown in, to include our cube drafts that we're now doing on Saturdays, because I want to accommodate the Thursday or Sunday streams from Direwolf for the tournaments and stuff. It was giving me kind of a hiccup in my cube schedule, so we moved that to Saturdays. That's it for plugs. So let's go into shoutouts. A couple of quick shoutouts today. I want to give a shout out to Gage902 for being the most recent ECQ champion, taking down the Throne champion with, I believe he took it down with Xenon combo, right, John?
Yeah, it was a Tulier Xenon deck.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. I just couldn't finish watching the whole thing, so I think I got up to the top 8. I had to go. So, yep, Gage902, phenomenal player. In the top of the leader, all 3 leaderboards this month, but just wanted to give them a shout out for just putting in the hard work. A lot of great competitors that week, including team, the Barbarian Camp, that took, I think, 8 or 9 of their guys made day 2 off of their Rakano deck, so shout out to them as well. And then the Demko is one of the latest subscribers to the channel. Thank you so much for that sub. Welcome to the Jedi Order, the Demko. We really appreciate it. Of course, some ongoing love to all our ongoing supporters on the channel. Really do appreciate you guys. Really help keep the lights on and stuff, so thank you so much for that. Always pick me up when I'm in a not so great mood, or vice versa. Hopefully I do a little something to improve your day and make you a little less bored and get you a little bit better at drafting, so thank you. And of course, shout out to our very own Johnholio, coming in with the 9-month sub, buddy. I can't believe it, man. Got promoted.
Oops.
Jedi Knight.
And that sweet ceremony.
Yeah. It's only fair that you finally got the ceremony that you helped inspire, So soon I'll have to start figuring out what to do for a year and a half. I think will probably be the next tick mark for people, but yeah, super dope.
It's coming up.
Something like that. Yeah, I think people are 14. I think I'm on month 14 or 15 of streaming. That's crazy. Such a great time. But all right, this is probably gonna be a long one, so that's gonna do it for our shout outs. You guys are fantastic. Thank you guys so much once again. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our draft. Are you guys ready?
Let's get it.
Sweet.
Do it.
Hopefully I have... All right, cool. I have the sound turned on so you guys actually hear the pack opening this time. And... boom. Okay. So we have our pack from Argent Depths. In the comment, I will go over all the cards initially, and then we'll start trimming. But we have, and for the sake of brevity, I'll try to be a little bit quicker as far as describing these cards. But forget, one-time fast spell, Revenge, silence an enemy unit. Fire symbol, it's depleted power with get double fire. We have a time symbol, which is depleted power, get 2 time influence. Valley Clan Sage 05 Shaman for 2 primal will pay 4 to draw the top card of your deck if it's a spell, otherwise discard it. Noble Protector is a 1/2 soldier for 1 justice. Entomb, gain 2 armor. Shatter, 1 primal fast spell, kill a stunned enemy unit. Grizzled Quickshot is a 3/1 gunslinger for 5 fire. Quick draw, Surge, your units get +1 attack this turn. Current All-Star, Siphoner Paladin, a 1/5 Paladin for 3 Justice. Summon, you may sacrifice another unit to play a 3/3 relic weapon, or give your current relic weapon a +3/+3. At the uncommon slot, we have Imprison. This is a fast spell for 6 Double Shadow. The enemy player must choose and sacrifice 2 units, gain double fire influence or double primal influence. Desert Alchemist is a 2/1 mage for 2 time. Deadly Ambush, summon Plunder. And finally, Rust Machine is the 3/2 Grenadin for 3 fire. When you play a spell with cost 5 or more, play 2 1/1 Rustlings with Decay. Ultimate, pay 4 and to get 5 power this turn. So you essentially ramp 1 power. And of course, I'll go ahead and cover the rare already. We have From Beyond. This is a 1 shadow slow spell. Choose a unit or spell with cost 3 or less from the enemy player's hand. They discard it. Transmute. If you have triple time and triple justice influence, create a 4/5 Maeve, Walker of Yawns. Maeve reads, she is a 4/5 for 6. And it doesn't show her influence on here, which is a little awkward, but that's fine. Anywho, presumably if you can transmute...
I don't think she has any influence.
Oh, they don't? So, I guess they just assume if you can transmute it. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that's
that makes
where
sense.
the influence comes in.
Got you, that makes sense. Okay. The first time you play another unit, and the first time you play, and, of course, it says and, not or, that's important. And the first time you play a weapon each turn, draw a card. Nice. Summon, put all units and weapons in your void into your deck with a +4/+4. All right, Alex, let's start us off with you, man. What are you looking at in this pack?
So, I mean, as far as the commons go, I think the Siphoner Paladin is the one that jumps out at me as the best one. Uncommons, the Desert Alchemist, and the Rust Machine are both pretty darn good. I think Maeve is probably the weakest of these From cards, the unit you get from that side. It's still pretty powerful though, but I'm kind of torn between the From Beyond and the Desert Alchemist, I think, is my 2 options.
Yeah, I'm actually
John?
I'm actually right there with you, believe it or not. Siphoner Paladin's really strong, Rust Machine's really strong, but they both need a little bit of assistance to make them really strong. Versus Desert Alchemist is just, for all intents and purposes, a removal spell. Plus it has Plunder, which is extremely good, and that's a lesson I'm still learning. But man, Maeve, the fact that she has the ability to draw you cards and shuffling cards back into your deck in a limited game is pretty good, because your power is not going to be shuffled in, right? It's only shuffling in the things that matter.
Yeah.
So it is
all upgraded, and each time you play one, it draws you a card.
Yeah, to essentially draw into your other ones. Like, it is a big commitment, because you have to 100% be Combre to play that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I feel, and plus it's a 4/5 for 6, so it's not like the body isn't completely irrelevant either. Man, I don't know, John, where are you at?
I mean, I'm right. Exactly what you guys said is exactly what I'm thinking. I like, if this was my pack, I'd be all over this Maeve for sure, because I'm just really want to play that card in a draft. I think it just seems like it's so powerful.
Yeah. Plus the good thing too is Combre is a pretty decent faction to be in. You have some pretty good tools, so it's not like you're sacrificing being in a less than optimal.
No, I like it
so.
just fine. But like this the Desert Alchemist is such a safe pick.
Oh yeah, it's like, it's you're hard pressed to not play. All right, we'll take the From Beyond. But I do want to disclaim that, I mean, once again, that's the thing that we talk about with your pack one, pick one all the time, is that you typically want to take the safest pick. because of the simple fact that it has a higher chance of making your deck versus the more powerful pick sometimes doesn't. And once again, taking From Beyond means that literally if we are not in Combre, we're not playing it versus,
Right.
anything that has some kind of level of time to it, we could play Alchemist, and it is removal and it has Plunder. So I do think the Alchemist is probably honestly still the correct pick, but high risk, high reward. Sometimes if we get the Combre deck, then we still get a major payoff. So so we'll go ahead and take the From Beyond here, but I do want to say the disclaimer that probably the 60-40 correct pick is Desert Alchemist here, even over Siphon or Paladin though.
I agree.
Oh my god,
Hey.
rewarded.
Hey.
I mean, how okay, plain simple guys, for those that are just listening, we literally, the next pack has a Desert Alchemist in it. The player took the rare, so it doesn't give us much of a signal, but still.
No.
So we got rewarded. Of course, our deck would have been pretty busted with double Desert Alchemist as well. So let's see what else is in this pack. We have a Badge of Honor. This is a +1/+3 weapon for 2 Justice, that when the wielder attacks, gain a Justice influence. This card is very good at enabling cards to attack. That +3 to the tail end is extremely helpful in allowing units to attack, and then obviously gaining you an influence is also very good in, for example, the Rakano deck, allowing them to trigger multiple surges and facilitating your heavy Justice influence cards like Ruse, like Audacious Ruse and Smogwing Tinker, and allowing the Caravan Guard to attack. This also will accommodate the influence requirement for From Beyond, but I don't think this card is better than Desert Alchemist for all the things we talked about earlier. Other things in the pack that are in contention would be Flameheart Patroller. This is a 1/3 Sentinel for 2 fire, 2 power, 1 fire. Red Mask Warrior is, I'm low on it, but a lot of people have come up. I think the decay is alright. It's a little bit harder to kill a 4/1 than I anticipated, but this is a 4/1 Centaur Warrior for 3 fire. Decay ultimate: when you play a spell with cost 5 or more, gain triple fire influence. There's a Silverblade Reaper, the 1/1 Nightmare Valkyrie for 3 shadow, flying, deadly. Let's see. Darkfire, armed and dangerous. Shadow Etchings, Felmvound, and then Shifting Illusion is a 1/1 illusion for 1 primal, flying, summon, plunder. Etchings, I honestly cut a lot of etchings from my deck. I'm not gonna lie. I think the quad influence plus having a unit in play of the same influence, and then still at the same time having stuff to put in your market, has made them not as powerful as people may have thought going into this draft format. I don't think I was very high on them to begin with, but I've definitely found myself cutting them a lot. Unless maybe it's in the primary color. Like if I want to be heavy, for example, in this deck, if I want to be heavy shadow and then it's a shadow etchings, then maybe I'll take it, but I take them very late. John?
Yeah, I agree completely. If you're in like a mono deck, then yeah, shadow, the etchings are a much better pick, but yeah, they're pretty medium overall, I think, in drafts. I mean, this is just an easy Desert Alchemist in this pack.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll just snag that up. It just hands down the best card in the pack. Okay, here we go. All right, here's a decision point. So in this pack, we have Solemn Clergy. This is the 1/1 Cleric for 2 Justice, Summon, Plunder, and then Entomb, you may silence a unit. Spellbound Ursine, which is a 3/3 Bear for 5 Primal, Overwhelm and Imbue. Auric Official, the 1/1 Minotaur for 4 Justice, Imbue, Surge +1/+1. Armed and Dangerous, Justice Symbol, Midnight Hunt, Storm Prowler, Shadow Etchings, Pillage. It's a 3 fire fast spell for 3 damage to an enemy. Pillage deals double damage to units with Endurance or Lifesteal. And then finally, Silent Hysteria. This is the fast spell for 5 time. Silence the enemy void and gain silence the enemy void and each enemy unit gain double fire or double justice. Alex.
So it's still early, so the Pillage kind of jumps out at me as a possible pick. Here's another Shadow Etchings. Like you said, you can get those late. They're going around really late, I'm noticing. The the Silent Hysteria is the card that's jumping out at me as being in time, and it can be a pretty backbreaking card for your opponent. It just messes up combat potentially. Sometimes it's hard to find the exact spot when you want to play it, but I think it's pretty versatile spell. So I think I'm on the Silent Hysteria.
Okay, John.
Yeah, I like Silent Hysteria. Okay, it can definitely be kind of awkward, but like, and I think it's better in Praxis than Combrade, but it's definitely still playable. I'm also like looking at the Justice symbol and the Auric Official. I like both of those cards quite a bit if I'm in Justice. I don't really have like a strong preference here though. What do you think, Jedi?
Man, Alex is right, man. That Pillage is definitely stands out as one of the front runner removal spells, but so is Desert Alchemist. Hysteria is good. It has some blowouts because actually people aren't running it as consistent, right? Certain silence effects, like for example, or even now the Tornado, right? The 2/3, people kind of expect it when you're on turn 3 and have 3 power open because it's common and a lot of people are playing it. Silent Hysteria is not as profound. And there is some the fact that it's a fast spell means that it could definitely, like Alex said, blow out. So, they attack in the air, they attack things with decay or deadly, and they think they're going to get through, and then you just silence things, and then block is pretty huge. I like the fact that what Alex once again mentioned, that it gives you Justice Influence to clean that up. So that is a consideration, but man, I'm kind of with you as well. The Auric Official is a little more flexible with just a single time or Justice Influence, though. Like none of these, I don't know, it's tough. I'm kind of on the fence as well, but I think in that case, whenever I'm kind of stuck between picks, I look towards the rarity, and the fact that Hysteria is an uncommon makes me want to kind of take that over the official, just because we have, by sheer rarity, we have a higher chance of getting official later, and we're not sure if we want to be. I mean, we can't rely on From Beyond to push us into Combrade this early. So no. I think it's safe to take the Silent Hysteria here. The pack still has every
is better than that, like in the vacuum.
We'll say that again. I'm sorry.
Would you say Pillage is better than Silent Hysteria in a vacuum? I think I would.
Yeah, I would. Yes. Yeah. So we should probably just take the adult pick and take the Pillage here, huh?
Like it's early enough where I think the Pillage is the probably the correct pick. You said it. Let's not let From Beyond force us into Combrade. So.
Yep. I'm good with that. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and take Pillage here because it's always going to be a removal spell, just like Desert Alchemist is, regardless of what the deck looks like. So yeah, we'll take Pillage here. Okay. All right.
No Justice.
This is actually looking pretty good as far as like maybe a Praxis goes, because we are looking in this pack. We have a Apprentice Mage, a 2/2 mage for 2 time, +1 maximum power. Seed of Creation is the 5 time fast spell. Draw a random power card and non-power card from your deck. If you have double fire influence, deal 2 damage to enemy player. Kind of meh, but worth mentioning. That card does do a little bit of work in the 5 cost spells or more deck. And then Disappear. Put a unit on the bottom of its owner's deck. For fast speed for 6 quad time. There's Volatile, Grenadin, Frostbite, Elemental, Roland's Enforcer. There's Grizzly Contest. I'm not particularly high on this card, but I know a lot of people are. And then Cheerful Shepherd and a Worldly Cleric. I'm not describing the other cards because I want to be a little bit quicker through these packs, and I don't really think those cards are in contention. So man, here honestly it's on the fence between Disappear and Apprentice Mage, and I think just the safer pick this early is still an Apprentice Mage over Disappear, though I could see an argument for Disappear as well, considering we saw a decent time card in the last pack. I don't know. Let's start with you, John.
Yeah, like I kind of said when you open the pack, right? Like Justice is completely cut from this pack, so Combrade's not looking so hot here. Yeah, I think for me it's between the Disappear and the Mage as well. And like when we were talking about that Silent Hysteria, like in the back of my head, I'm thinking like I would basically rather just play like a Disappear or the the big time bounce spell. I can't think of the name right now.
Snap.
Yeah, snap. I'd rather play either of those over that like every time. In fact, I had a very bad experience when I had that Silent Hysteria in my deck, like in a draft one time. So, but I'm still open minded about the card. Like I think it's pretty good. I just got very unlucky with it. Like I think for me, I don't know. I'm looking at the Apprentice Mage honestly, but it's really close between that and Disappear.
No, I'm with you. I think this early I would take the mage as well.
You guys said everything I'm thinking. It's between those two for me, and leaning slightly Apprentice Mage.
Okay, sweet. Easy mage for us then. It's not an easy pick, but all three of us took mage, so we'll take mage here. And speak of both Praxis big spells and I guess just Praxis big spells. We have Overheating Minibot, which doesn't go in the deck, and I personally don't like it, but I'll mention it. 3/2 Grenadin for 2 fire. It has Reckless, and that's the main reason why I don't like it. Pay 2 power and sacrifice Overheating Minibot to get 3 power this turn. So it's a much worse Rust Machine. There's Unbreakable Tradition, which is the 5 Justice fast spell. Double a unit's attack and health permanently, gain double time influence or double primal influence. This card is really good. And then these are the cards I was talking about. Valley of the Ancients is a fast spell for 5 fire. Play a 5/4 Sentinel Exhausted, gain double time or gain double shadow influence. And then Ancient Machinist is a 2/1 Explorer for 2 time. When you play a spell with cost 5 or more, transform Ancient Machinist into a Sentinel with attack and health equal to that spell's cost. So, Alex.
I'm a big fan of the Ancient Machinist, and I don't know if it's because I've had good experiences with it, but once you get to that 5 power threshold and you attack, your opponent's like, they don't really know what to do. There's a lot of big time spells that you want to play, so I think it works really good with time, which is it's a time card, so that makes sense. But yeah, I'm on the Machinist. I'm a big fan.
Okay, John.
I also like Machinist a lot. I feel like we're getting some mixed signals because I think Unbreakable Tradition is a very good Justice card, and Justice was completely cut from the last pack. So I mean, there's a chance that it was like just the one Justice card and it was the rare or something like that. So like I guess I'm still open-minded at this point. Like I think like in a vacuum, Unbreakable Tradition is probably my pick for like most powerful card in this pack. Like Valley of the Ancients is a good role player in Praxis, and Ancient Machinist is exactly what you want in time anything. So like I think for me it's between Tradition and Machinist. What do you think, Jedi?
Oh wow, this is I'm on Valley.
Yeah.
And I'm on Valley because similar to what we were talking about with the Hysteria, it's a 5 cost spell. It goes in Praxis. It gives you a 5 attack unit, and it gives you time influence. So I like Machinist. Don't get me wrong, and I love Unbreakable Tradition, but I normally like to be a little more conservative in pack 1 for us to be more flexible in pack 2 and 3. And I know that kind of makes it sound like I want Ancient Machinist, but like the only deck that really takes a Machinist is the 5 cost spell deck. I've seen Machinist go pretty late because there's a decent amount of two drops that you can take in this format. So I think I almost want one of the payoffs that fills in a couple of gaps for us, especially with us already having a Pillage, which we would like to play. So I would actually be on the Valley of Ancients for me.
Okay.
I don't know that came against you guys.
That was my number 3. You know, like it was in contention, but I was like personally higher than the other two. But like I can totally see you taking that.
No,
here.
I mean you guys are both on Machinist, so I could take Machinist. I was just giving my opinion, but we could take Machinist. I'm fine with that as well.
We do already have 2 very good 2 drops.
Is Alchemist really a 2 drop though?
No, it's not.
All right, so here we will take the Ancient Machinist.
Okay.
It is kind of a lightning rod for being a little 2/1 dork.
Okay, cards in contention here, all primal, and only one of them really looks good, which is the Natural Order. But in Fire, we have Dark Fire, which is another 5 cost spell that cares about big attack units, and we have Chemical Rounds, There's Boulder Gate Guard. Darkfire. 5 fire slow spell. Deal damage to an enemy equal to the highest attack among your units. Double Shadow Influence. It gains lifesteal. Chemical Rounds is a 1 fire slow spell. Decay. Deal 2 damage. And then we have Boulder Gate Guard, a 0/3 bird for 1 justice. Flying. +2 attack when there's a stunned unit. John?
It's definitely between Darkfire and Chemical Rounds for me. I mean, like, we don't have any of those 5-cost spells yet, so I mean, this Darkfire is actually looking kind of appealing here. Chemical Rounds is just the more, like, I think it's just better. You know, its worst case scenario is better than Darkfire, but the upside is very much there for Darkfire. Because we're kind of looking like we're going to be this Praxis deck, like, I guess that means, like, I'm putting a little more consideration to Darkfire than I might otherwise. What do you think, Alex?
I think I like the first Chemical Rounds, or the first Darkfire. I could just deal with one of the early units that you just need an answer for, and just the decay makes it permanent. You know, it's a permanent nerf. So I like Chemical Rounds a little bit better than the Darkfire here.
It's the safer pick for sure.
Yep, man, I'm with Alex on this one. I think Darkfire can go pretty late. I like it more in Stone Scar, a little less in Praxis, though I don't hate it. But yeah, I want to take the Chemical Rounds here and then find out in packs 2 and 3 if we have enough like bigger units to warrant the Darkfire, because we haven't seen any of the Sages or the Allosaurs in these packs yet in this pack, so
True.
It's still up in the air. So yeah, let's go ahead, and that's 2 for 1 on the Chemical Rounds. So we'll take that one here. Oh my god. All right. This pack is straight garbage for us. Frost, Roland's Enforcer, Solemn Clergy, Shadow Symbol, Primal Symbol, and Spellbound Ursine. So do we think, I mean, Primal obviously is open. Do we want to consider, I mean, we have to take something here. So I guess we could take either the Symbol or the Ursine to kind of fit that bill. We can also take Shadow Symbol in case Shadow is open in pack 2. So I think it's a Symbol here over the units. I don't know. What do you think, John?
Yeah, we're getting cut here. Yeah, I think one of these symbols is probably safer. Like, Primal has been looking open, but none of the Primal cards have been good or anything. You know, this Ursine's probably like one of the better ones we've seen. But I still think, like, yeah, probably just one of these symbols. This is really looking like we're going to be at the mercy of what's open in the next 2 packs.
Yeah, so it almost, because I feel like Primal's not getting picked here, I almost want to just take the Primal Symbol. But
yeah, it makes sense.
On Primal Sigil as well.
You are as well? All right, cool. Yeah, we'll just take the tentative, speculative Primal Symbol. Okay, hey, all right, we got something lucky here, and it might just be the unluck of the cards just not being in the pack. That does happen sometimes, where we think we're getting mixed signals, but the packs are just laid out differently. Here, Land's Edge, which is mainly for the Imbue deck. 3-time Relic. At the end of your turn, your stunned units get +2/+2. Party Warrior, Overheating Minibot again, Storm Prowler, and then a time symbol. So of course, depleted power with double time. Think it's pretty easy time symbol here.
For sure.
And it's shiny.
Plus it's shiny.
Boom.
Yeah,
all right, cool. Here we go. All right, so maybe that was just 2 bad packs. Here we have a Forget again, and then a, like we mentioned, Sand Tornado, 2/3 elemental for 3 time, ambush, flying on the enemy turn. Alex, which one do you want here?
Oh, this is a tough one, I think. Sand Tornado's really overperformed, but that Forget can really be like a removal spell. It is early. We are going to need to take units into consideration. I think since our removal suite is already looking okay, I think I would take the Sand Tornado here.
Okay, John?
Yeah, I agree completely. It is pretty close. So I really do like my first Forget, but that's not something I really want multiples of. And Like right now, I'd be willing to pick up another Sand Tornado. So I think I'd rather have the first Tornado here.
Yep, I'm the same. You guys took the words right out of my mouth.
What?
Okay, all right. So here there's a Night Watch Broadsword, which is the +4/+3 relic weapon for 5 justice. When one of your units dies, gain 1 armor. Then there's an Enter the Monastery. This is a slow spell for 3 double justice. Draw 2 justice sigils from your deck. If you have 2 time influence, play one of them, and then a Roland's Enforcer, so another shadow card. So I think this is a pretty easy Enter the Monastery. Nothing else going on here. Puts Combray back? Not really. It really doesn't, but we're taking it.
I mean, if Justice is wide open in packs 2 and 3, like
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay. Armed and Dangerous versus Felmbound. I guess we'll just take the Felmbound, and I'll just put that directly into the market or the pool, and a shadow symbol. Okay. So at the start of, or at the end of pack 1, we have Felmbound, shadow symbol, Ancient Machinist, Apprentice Mage, Desert Alchemist, Sand Tornado, Chemical Rounds, From Beyond, aka Maeve, Enter the Monastery, Pillage, Primal Symbol, and Time Symbol. And now, man, all right, cool. We got a doozy here. There you go. Yes, thank you. Thank you guys for waiting. I know you guys wanted to say something as soon as I opened it. All right, well, anyone that's been drafting for a hot minute realizes the bane of so many draft decks and draft. We have as our rare Marizo. This is Marizo Gladiator Hero and Draft Hero. 7/7 Giant for 7 time. Exalted. Mastery 10. Play 3 units from the top 10 cards of your deck, then discard the rest. That's right. So they can't jump block it, and they don't want to kill it either. It's like, unless you can silence this thing or transform it, you're in a world of hurt. Of course, these are all going to be reprints. This is the Eternal Draft Pack, so you are seeing cards from other sets, but we understand that there's new people going into Limited, so we will talk about them. Other cards in contention: Direwood Prowler. I mean, we're just taking Marizo. Like, we're in time, and it's a bomb, so we're taking it, but just for the sake of generalization, there's a Direwood Prowler. It is a 5/5. Dire Beast for 6 prime or 6 shadow. Summon. You may sacrifice another unit to draw 2 cards. Longtail Cavalry is a 2/1 flying exalted unseen Kieran for 5 5 justice. And then there's a Grodov Evangel 2/2 Minotaur Cleric for 2 double time. Charge, fate, gain of, yeah, I mean, we're just taking Marizo. There's absolutely no reason to take it or not take it.
Marizo is so good in draft.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's easy Marizo, right? You mentioned what was in contention, but this is just easy.
Yep. All right, we'll take Marizo, which is perfect. Oh my god.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, so we're in Praxis.
Praxis, baby.
Okay, so real quick, I'll go the reverse order this time. We have a token of tradition, which will give us one of the following depleted power. This is either time, justice, or primal. There's a Predator's Instinct. This is the give a unit killer spell for a slow spell for 1 time. There is a Sand Viper, a 1/2 serpent for 2 time, deadly, and then ultimate pay 6 to give Sand Viper a +2/+2. And just if we were looking at Combray, there's a Seraph's Choice, which is a 7 Combray influence spell, slow spell, double the attack and health of your units this turn, or draw a unit of your choice from your deck and double its health and attack. And then finally, the rare that was passed to us. So they took a common out of this. It had to be a removal spell, right? Death Strike, maybe?
Drop your phone, tap a card.
Yeah, you're right. It probably was exactly that. They probably misclicked. Anywho, because this card is an absolute bomb. Toda Pioneer is a 1/1 totemite explorer for 2 fire. When you draw your second card in a turn, you get 2 power this turn. Pay 4 power to give one of your other units +4 attack and overwhelm this turn. Yeah, card's busted.
So the only Justice card in this pack is taken, so the Justice common. So I guess the person passing is probably mono Justice at this point. I can't think of any other explanation.
Yeah,
other
they
than
took a
drop their
Porter.
phone.
Took a Porter or Evangel, I guess.
right?
Can the Cyclops choice count as the Justice card?
No, it has
Pack?
no. Every pack has a card of every faction by itself.
All right.
Like,
So yeah, there's
So
that's
I'm gonna go ahead and
Power.
move the From Beyond, the
yes.
Enter, and the Symbol out of our deck for the time being, and we're gonna take Tota Pioneer, and hopefully we get past Praxis like nobody's business.
Looks like we are.
All right, in this pack, we are looking in Praxis colors. We are looking at Ruined, Fast Spell 1 Fire, Kill an Enemy Attachment, Yeti Cookmaster, the 1/1 Yeti Cultist for 2 Fire. When you draw a card, Yeti Cookmaster gets +2 attack this turn. Baying Ceratosaur, 2/2 Dinosaur for 3 time. Summon Nightfall. When you draw a card, Baying Ceratosaur gets +1/+1 this turn. Piercing Shot, slow spell for 2 fire. Deal 2 damage to an enemy unit and deal 2 damage to the enemy player. And Panoptic Guardian is a 2/5 Sentinel for 4 time. Ambush, Fate, you see the top card of each deck this turn. John.
Yeah, it's definitely between Guardian and Piercing Shot for me. I think normally I'd be looking more at the Piercing Shot, but we already have a Chemical Rounds and a Pillage, which are pretty similar. So I guess I'm kind of leaning towards this Panoptic Guardian here. And again, there's no Justice in this pack too, so I guess it wasn't a fluke. Like, Justice is cut.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point reading those signals. And I agree. I'm right there with you. Piercing Shot is a very good trick, but we have two things that kind of do the exact same thing. So I agree. I'm on Guardian here. Alex?
The Bang Ceratosaur combos with your Tota Pioneer, but I don't think that's enough to make it pickable over the Guardian. Yeah, same thing you guys said. We have things that deal with little things. I like the 2/5 Ambush for 4.
Sweet.
And the cheeky look at the top card. You know, sometimes that's pretty helpful and relevant.
Yeah.
It really does help you plan your turn and play around stuff that you wouldn't otherwise be able to.
Yep, very much so. Very much so. All right, next pack we have Grudov Evangel. We talked about. We have Pause for Reflection. Put fast spell 1 time. Put a unit or relic with cost 3 or less into its owner's hand. You gain 3 life. Polymorph. We'll say it just because Primal is open. There's Transform a unit into a 1/1 Frog. It's a slow spell for 3 Primal. And then finally, Cult Recruiter is a 3/3 Cultist for 4 double time. Ambush Mastery 4 +1/+1. I actually think Recruiter is decent in this format. It also synergizes Worm very well, but we just picked up a Guardian that kind of fills the same slot, and we hope to get like 2 or 3 disappears. I like taking the Evangel. It's a good 2-drop, and it fixes our influence. So I'm actually leaning a little more towards Evangel here over Recruiter, but I do like Recruiter. Alex?
Yeah, with the heavy influence things, these Evangels really have been all-stars in this format for me, and they're just great 2-drops. I'm on the Evangel.
John?
Yeah, I am as well. I guess I'll just note this: Fire's cut in this pack, but could have just been the rare. Like, it's crazy that we got past the Tota Pioneer, and now Fire's getting cut. But it could have just been a weird pack.
I mean, at the same time, the 2 Justice cards in here aren't very impressive.
Right.
So, and there could have been another Justice card.
It's just open. It's just been open. So,
luckily, time looks quite open still. So yeah, I'm with that Evangel.
Okay. Yeah, that is weird now because now we're seeing a Siege Provisions, which I think any Justice deck would have taken. Siege Provisions. I'm not gonna talk about. I don't think we're gonna play Justice. Defile.
No.
Defile is in here to remove. Yeah, we're not looking at Defile. Sorry, guys. I want to go over every card, but I also want to be time sensitive. So we're just gonna look at cards that might make the deck. There's Smith's Hammer +2/+0 weapon for 2 fire with Overwhelm. Another Grudov Evangel. A Sauropod Wrangler is a 2/2. For 2 time, explore your units with 5 attack or more, cost 1 less. Then Envelope is a fastball at 1 time. Put an attacking enemy unit into the enemy hand. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, John?
I'd probably pick up this Envelope here. It's that or the Evangel for me.
Okay, yeah, I think it's between the 2 of them as well. John, or I'm sorry, Alex?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Envelop, but it does help you deal with like a bigger unit, which so far we really can't, but we're hoping to do that in pack 4 with like disappears and stuff. Yeah, I'm on the
I'd much
second
rather
event.
have a teleport, too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to 2 evangels.
Yeah,
And it's
I
like
think
a low to the ground aggressive deck, you know?
yeah, I play envelope in decks when I need the interaction. You know what I mean? Because I agree, I'd rather have teleport as well, just because you can use on offense and defense.
Mhm.
So I think I'm good taking the Evangel here, just making sure.
Cool.
Once we lock in our 2-drop slot, then it kind of frees us up. So take Evangel here. And let's see. So here we're looking at Sunglass Sentinel, 4/6 Sentinel for 7 Praxis. Overwhelm. When you play a spell, Sunglass Sentinel gets +4 attack this turn. Sand Warrior is a 3/3 illusion warrior for 0 power, but triple time influence. And then, just in case the Shadow Thing or Xenon, there is Blistering Wasp, is a 1/3 insect, flying, deadly for 2 Xenon. John.
Yeah, like Sand Warrior's good, and I've never actually played Sandglass Sentinel, but I think it would be pretty okay in this deck. We do already have like a much better 7-drop though. Sand Warrior is like basically a 3-drop, which we're kind of lacking in here. And with 2 Evangels, I think we could even like cheat it out early with a lucky draw.
Pretty easily. Yeah.
Looks pretty appealing here.
Okay, yep, I'm good. Yeah, we can go like symbol Evangel or something like that, or double.
Yeah.
I think it's doable.
No, yeah, symbol Evangel, you can play that turn 1 even. That's really good.
Okay,
Right.
cool. We'll take
Yeah.
Sand Warrior. Okay, Humbug, 1/1 flying insect for 1 time. Granite Waystone, gain fire influence. Then if you have quad fire, create and draw a 1/1 Grenadin. And helpful, yeah, whatever. All right, so Humbug, Humbug or Waystone here, Alex.
I mean, the Humbug's pretty meh. Of the power, I would take the Waystone. Random little baby upside you get with the Grenadin.
Yeah, Humbug is meh 95% of the time, but the 5% that you have Totem Pioneer to make it a 5/1 flyer with Overwhelm, it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Just wanted to mention that.
Putting that on any unit is pretty deets, really. So
yeah, I agree. I think I like the
I
upside.
hear you.
John?
Waystone.
Yep. All right, so we'll take the Waystone here. Okay, Backlash, which John and I both love and limited. I almost got Backlash out of my mind earlier today, almost. Bang Sarasaur. Yep, pretty easy. That's the only thing here. Everything else is Felm. So we'll take the Bang Sarasaur that we talked about. All right, so Primal is open at the end of both packs.
That's
Linrai Evangel,
There's-
Wisdom of the Elder, Snow 4, and Gale Prowler. So yeah,
No respect for Primal.
I guess we'll just take the Evangel. Hey, there we go. Do we want our 3rd Evangel or our 1st Wrangler? And we only have 1 card that Wrangler discounts, so I just like taking the other Evangel.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, that Wrangler's not looking good here at all.
The rally is no, right? No rally.
I mean, it's a consideration. Like, I don't think I think we have enough 2-drops here.
Yeah.
Like that Evangel's not like is gonna be on the chopping block anyway. So I would consider
I
it.
I actually don't think so, because Totem Pioneer is not a 2-drop, and neither is Alchemist. So we actually only have 1, 2, 3, 4 2-drops. So I think it's fine. I like having about 5
I
or
think
6.
it is fine.
Yeah, we'll take Evangel here. Gale Prowler and Bouncer. And Amaran Camo. Okay, so at the end of pack 2, we have Sand Warrior, Ancient Machinist, Apprentice Mage, Desert Alchemist, 3 Grodov Evangel, Totem Pioneer, Bang Sarasaur, Sand Tornado, Panoptic Guardian, Marizo Gladiator Hero, Chemical Rounds, Pillage, Granite Waystone, and a Time Symbol. So nothing really pulled us into another color, honestly, and I'm perfectly fine being as close to mono time as possible. All right, looking at pack 3, pick 1. Cards in contention are Seat of Progression, which is the seat for Combray if we wanted to still splash. A Belching Behemoth is a 6/6 dinosaur for 8 time. Summon, you gain 6 life. There's the Rally, that is your units get +2 attack this turn, is a fast spell for 3 fire. And then finally, Forge Born is a 7/7 Sentinel for 7 triple fire, Overwhelm, Pledge, and then pay 9 to give Forge Born +2 attack this turn for each of your units. I'm still, even though we're heavy time, I'm still windmill slamming Forgeborn here. There's just nothing in the pack really pulls me anywhere else. What about you,
He's got
Alex?
Pledge. That's great.
Yeah, I like the insurance policy that Pledge gives you. I mean, it's still rough when you draw it on turn 2 or 3, but
sure.
Yeah. So you're on Forgeborn. Alex, anything to add?
I mean, there's not really much else in the pack, really. So
no.
Yeah, Forgeborn it is.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm much less sad about passing that Sandglass Sentinel earlier.
Boom. Ask and you shall receive. Teleport.
Heck yeah.
Teleport. Put a unit into its owner's hand at fast speed for 2 time. So essentially it costs 1 more than envelope, but it puts any unit. It doesn't have to be attacking. It could be blocking, or it could be just sitting there. There's a creation chant, which, if we wanted to have the Justice Splash, or just fix our, a bad Seek Power can fix our Praxis Influence. That's an option, which obviously pay 1 generic and go find either a Justice, a Time, or a Fire Sigil. And then Tumble Bang, a 3/1 Grenadin for 3 double fire. Entomb, you get +3 power this turn. John?
It's definitely between Teleport and Creation Chant, and I think it's pretty close. But we are lacking in interaction right now. So I'm eyeballing this Teleport.
Alex?
Ditto. There's not really much else in this pack.
Yeah, you not being able to dictate when Tumble Bag dies means you can't really capitalize on that 3 extra power. And yeah, I like the interaction of teleports. We'll just pick that up. Okay, here. All right, Piercing Shot, Belching Behemoth, Sauropod Wrangler, and Teleport. And Stone Powder Bomber. I'm sorry, I can't believe I almost missed that. 5/4 Oni for 6 double fire. Exalted on your turn. Alex?
So here, I know we passed on it earlier, but I think here I take the Piercing Shot.
Okay.
Or second Teleport, but maybe I'm crazy.
Okay, John?
Yeah, this is kind of tough. Like, I don't know. I'm honestly considering this Bomber here. Like, Bomber or Teleport, I think, are my 2 picks over Piercing Shot.
Yeah, I like Bomber. I'm good with Bomber as well, honestly. If we
It's a solid 6.
if we needed more 2-drops and weren't early game, that I would consider Piercing Shot, just to kind of use that to bridge the gap. But we're kind of good. We're actually lacking more closer to our 3/4 range as far as units go, which does give us a little bit of an opening for chemical rounds, teleport, and pillage. So yeah, I like Bomber. I think it does some work. It's not amazing, but I think it does a little bit of work, and it does round out our curve on the top end. So I like Bomber here as well.
Okay, cool. I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Well, Alex, can we talk you into Bomber or no? Or are you just completely
No. Yeah, like I was actually thinking of that card as well. After John said, I was like, yeah, that's actually a good idea too, because we don't have any 6-drops, and it pretty much is going to make the deck. So
yeah, and if we could pick up a Might Weaver in pack 4, then this guy is just gonna be a freaking house.
That will be juicy.
All right, sweet. I have a couple of cards here. We have another Sunglass Sentinel. We have another Cult Recruiter. We have a Grodoff Evangel. And then we have Rampage. It is a 2-fire fast spell. Give a unit +3 and +1 and overwhelm this turn. Alex?
So this is in between the Cult Recruiter and the Rampage for me. And I really like Rampage. So I think I would take that.
Okay. John?
Yeah, it's exactly what Alex said, and it's pretty close. We are we got a lot of solid units, but the Cult Recruiter is exactly good for our curve here. Yeah, I think I'm eyeballing this Rampage.
Okay. I think here I would take Cult Recruiter over Rampage. I like them both. I like them both, and I
It's
like
really
having.
close.
But and we, obviously Rampage goes really well with Marizo and Stone Powder Bomber. Yeah, actually, never mind. Yeah, we have two good
I mean,
exalted units that we want to hit with it. So yeah.
yeah, we have Toto Pioneer, but that's just one card.
Marizo can hit on one turn. The
Oh yeah,
exalted.
true. That's pretty huge as well. Okay, yeah, you sold me on it. You sold me. No, typically, I would have probably grabbed Recruiter, but we're also at 15 or 14 units. So yeah. Okay, we'll take Rampage. I like that. Boom, rewarded, never punished.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
So we have Premonition Wisp 2/2 for 3 time. Ultimate, when you gain life, play a 4/4 Relentless Radiant that we don't have any way to gain life. Predator's Instinct, give a unit killer. We talked about it, goes good with Bomber and Marizo. I guess to a certain extent, our Panoptic Guardian as well. And then a Magnificent Stranger, the 2/3 Stranger for 2 time. When one or more strangers attack, reduce the cost of the top card of your deck, of the owner's deck, by 2. I like these. I used to be kind of halfsies and lower on these guys, but now that everyone's not running around with a ton of strangers, I'm actually much higher on these guys. I like Predator's Instinct in our deck, considering what our top end looks like, and we could also Toto Pioneer something and instinct it. We are lacking in removal, but man, Mag Stranger would really help fire off our Forgeborn and a Marizo or a Stone Powder Bomber earlier, and I could see us easily cutting the Machinist if we don't pick up a lot of 5-cost spells because we have 0 right now. So I'm actually on Mag Stranger. John?
Yeah, I think I'm looking more at the Predator's Instinct. It's very close though between that and Mag Stranger. Like right now, that's an easy upgrade over Machinist in our deck. But that Predator's Instinct, like our top end would just absolutely love to have that card to go along with it. And it is like it's looking like some pretty solid removal. I don't know. It's close though. What do you think, Alex?
It's real close. I mean, what Jedi said, the Magnificent Stranger is no longer really annoying.
It's all upside now.
Yeah, because your opponent's going off on you with your cards, but the Killer Instinct is like it helps us deal with what we can't really deal with yet very well, which is like bigger units. Man, it's so
like,
tough.
do we? I guess do we really even care that much though? Just because we have Toto Pioneer, right? Like,
that's true. I mean, like
that'll just help us
Mag
push through
Stranger
anything.
just helps you play your Forgeborn and
Like the
Marizo.
upside of being able to power out one of our 7s is so huge. Maybe it is just Mag Stranger.
Yeah, you just sold me on it. I'm on the Mag Stranger. I mean, it was close, and I think I was leaning slightly Mag Stranger, but now, yeah, let's do it.
Okay. That's funny because after John's argument, I'm like, okay, I could see Killer. All right. I was hoping we got rewarded, but not quite. Sort of. Actually, yeah, it rounds out our curve a little bit.
It's a good pack.
So we have Seek Power. We have Seek Power is a 1 generic. Draw a sigil of your choice from your deck. Period. Cult Recruiter again, and then Humbug Nest, a fast spell for 3 time. Play 2 1/1 Humbugs with flying. All right, Alex, where are you at on this one?
So, because of the argument you said earlier with the Humbug, I think I like the Humbug Nest. 2 1/1s for 3. It fits in our curve with 3, and it does go really well with Toto Pioneer. 2 units for the price of 1. So I think I'm on the Humbug Nest.
Okay. John?
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yep, same here. He's good. Okay, we have a Wrangler Sauropod again, and then we have Slag. Fast spell, 2 fire, kill an enemy relic or kill an enemy sentinel. This is kind of interesting. Let's go to you, John.
Yeah, I like the Sauropod Wrangler is looking playable now because of our 3 top end units. But I'm still not like really high on that. But like Slag, like I don't know about that either. Really, like I like that it's fast, but there's just not a ton of sentinels. Like if you're in Praxis, I would expect to see at least 1 sentinel, but other than that, that's kind of specific for removal. Enemy relic. like it's fast, so like that does cleanly answer relic weapons and stuff. And there is an occasional, other kind of relic in the format that you care about. So I guess I'm kind of looking at slag here. Is that weird?
No, not at all. I that's exactly why I thought it was a decision point, because both of them are viable now.
Yeah.
I think Wrangler would have taken it if we needed 2-drops, but because we were so responsible, like we're good on 2, so we can be flexible. You know what I mean?
And Max Stranger, like, it kind of fills that role, but kind of in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can ramp out everything.
Yeah, exactly. Alex.
Slag's a really good market card if you get a fire etchings or something.
Good point. Good point.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, no, I like Slag too.
Yeah, we'll take slag. I think it's fine. All right. We have an assault shield, and then we have a super late Praxis replacer, which we have no 5-drops in our deck right now. Praxis replacer is a 3/3 mage for 5 time. Summon, you may put another unit into its owner's hand. Yep.
She don't replace, she displace.
Ah, snap. All right, we'll take Displacer pretty easy here. Nothing in this pack. Gale Prowler, Shiver, Sandglass Sentinel, and Direwolf Rampager. Sentinel's fine, but we have such better top end, we don't need it. So,
right.
Envelope or Rouser. I mean, I guess we're taking the envelope here, but I don't think we're going to play it. We'll take
There's
it.
There's a chance still.
Yeah. Oh,
if you don't get any more cards.
All right, there's actually a decision. This is kind of annoying.
This is actually tough.
This is actually kind of annoying, to be completely honest with you, but we have Horned Vorlunk is a 3/4 Overwhelmed Dinosaur for 4 time, and then Turn Back Time, which is a 3-time slow spell. Draw a card from your void. It gets void bound. All right, let's start with you, Alex.
I mean, as much as I love the 3/4 for 4 Overwhelm, I think this is an easy turn back time because we have some pretty powerful cards in our deck that I wouldn't mind getting back. So it's turn back time for me.
Okay, John?
Yep, turn back time for me too.
Yeah, exactly. Turn back time's value is directly proportionate to what's in your deck, and yeah, getting back a Forgeborn, a Marizo, or a Tota Pioneer, all right, yeah, we're taking turn back time, which stinks because I love Vorlunk. And then last pick, Improvised Club. Okay, so at the end of pack 3, we have Sand Warrior, Ancient Machinist, Apprentice Mage, Desert Alchemist, 3 Grotto of Evangel, and a Partridge in a Pear Tree, Magnificent Stranger, Tota Pioneer, Baying Sarasaur, Sand Tornado, Panoptic Guardian, Praxis Displacer, Stone Powder Bomber, Forgeborn, Marizo, Chemical Round, Envelope, Rampage, Slag, Teleport, Humbug Nest, Pillage, Turn Back Time, a Granite Waystone, and a Time Symbol. So it looks like we are firmly in Praxis. Really no reason to go out of it thus yet. All right, opening up pack 4, pick 1. Cards in contention are Chemical Round, Sand Tornado, Backbreaker. Well, honestly, that's it. Backbreaker is amazing, but we're nowhere near that. The rare is Fortune Teller. So Sand Tornado or Chemical Rounds, pretty easy Sand Tornado, I think. Any of you guys got anything to add?
No.
Okay. Yep. And maybe one of these days I'll play Backbreaker and draft, maybe. All right, we're taking a Sand Tornado. Okay. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh
No, they're all in the same pack. No.
Same pack. Oh.
God, no. Why? See, this is what happens.
No.
How we got rewarded with the right from card, but what? This pack is evil.
Oh my gosh. I called it too. I said it too.
Yes.
I jinxed myself. I was like, oh yeah, all right, guys. So for those of you listening to the podcast, there's a fire symbol. There's a Sand Tornado, a Brightling. Yeah, we're not worried about that. Monk Innovator, whatever. And then there's a From Elements, like Alex just said. It is the 1 primal, deal 3 damage to an attacking enemy unit, but transmute, triple Praxis, get Otherworldly Visitor. Otherworldly Visitor is a 4/4 for 6. When you play a spell, your units get +1/+1 this turn. Summon, play a Ravenous Worm with +1/+1 for each unit in your void. So of course, it's Yeah, it says it. Never mind. The problem with that is instead of windmilling them that we have a Might Weaver. Ugh. 2/2 mage for 3 fire. Your unit with plus or 5 attack or more deal double damage. Surge +1 attack this turn. Of note, Forgeborn has Overwhelm. Stone Powder Bomber and Marizo have Exalted. Gosh darn it. Tota Pioneer gives everything, pretty much makes everything on our deck a plus. Oh!
Tota Pioneer makes everything double damage with Might Weaver in play.
Yeah, so it's pretty much just Might Weaver, right? Like, I mean, from Element or Otherworldly Visitor is strong, but I mean,
if we didn't have our six drop or our 2 amazing 7 drops, then I'd give more consideration to From Elements here. But that Might Weaver, that is such a good card for our deck.
And it almost has charge because you just wait, you play whatever big unit it is, and then the next turn when it can attack, you play Might Weaver. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really do. I think it just hands down the strongest card, especially in our deck, even over From Elements. What do you think, Alex?
I guess, man, I hate passing that From Elements, but you guys are right. I mean, it's basically it could win the game by itself. Just with a couple of the units that you have just on their own. I mean, with the Tota Pioneer out, that's just nuts. Sure. Let's take the Might Weaver.
And we have turn back time. So we have an insurance policy if they kill one of our we're just taking Might Weaver. I was hoping we were gonna get rewarded, but no. Let's see. We have Corrosive Dagger, Kuru Vow, and Armed and Dangerous. I don't think we have. I mean, granted, I was about to say that I don't think we want to play quad fire, but we're running triple fire, and that's not that far from it. We actually didn't pick up any Disappears or Omen Scar Worms, so it could be feasible here to take the Armed and Dangerous. But I think up against Corrosive Dagger, even if you just get 2 guys off of the Dagger, that's still pretty darn good. So I think I'm on Dagger here over Armed and Dangerous just because our top end already looks pretty good. So, and we have...
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of on Corrosive Dagger here. John?
Yeah, definitely. Like Corrosive Dagger, like it'll be a lot better if we end up with at least, a fire symbol or, a Praxis Vow. I don't know if that's actually in the format, but, like we could use a little more fixing or whatever. I'm not really considering this Armed and Dangerous here at all, but I would consider playing this Corrosive Dagger in our deck.
Mm-hmm. Alex?
Yeah, I'm okay with even just getting one Grenadin or Rustling, whatever those guys are.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
They are Grenadin, actually.
Are they?
Yeah, they got changed at one point. Yeah.
I need to stop opening my mouth, or maybe opening it more. So we have a Combre Vow. We have an Eager Deputy, a 0/1 Gunslinger for 1 fire. When you play a unit with more attack than Eager Deputy, she gets +1 attack. Summon Plunder, and then a Forget again, though it is shiny, and then hey, Disappear. We already talked about it. So I don't know. I keep saying that I'm undervaluing these Plunder units, but gosh, like sometimes they just go up against some really good cards, and you're like, So, Alex, what do you think it's here? What do you think is here? We don't have a Forget. We didn't. Wait, did we take a Forget? No, we did not.
No.
So it's our first Forget and our first Disappear.
I think the Disappear is just a clean removal that we're lacking for something that's big. So I think I like the Disappear here. I think the Eager Deputy is overrated, but that's me. Yeah, I'm on Disappear.
Okay, John?
I'm also on Disappear.
Yep, me too, especially with the turn back time. I mean, granted, we prefer turn back time to go to our bombs, but sometimes in a pinch, you take it and Disappear. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Ooh. All right. There's some cards here. I think we picked the right lane. We have Blurhaze Worm is the 1/1 worm for 4 double time. Imbue. Ultimate, when you play a card on the enemy turn, draw 2 cards. We have the Forget, and then we have a Steam Rider. 3/3 Yeti for 3 double fire. And then if you have double Primal Influence, it gets flying. But if you have double Time Influence, it gets deadly. John?
So I'm it's for me. It's between Steam Rider and Blur Haze Worm.
Yeah.
And like I think I'd pick the Blur Haze Worm here. Actually,
Okay.
we don't have any ways to like dig otherwise. And it it's looking pretty solid with what we've got here. Teleport, we got one of those. That's like basically one of the best cards to have when you have a Blur Haze Worm. Steam Rider's fine. Like we have a deadly unit. We have some, approximately 3 damage things. So like I think we have some things that are comparable to that already. And like a 3/3 deadly is like it still just trades with anything with 3 power, so that's not like amazing or anything. Um, I would take the Blur Haze Worm here.
Yep, John said it exactly for me. So I like the flying better with the Steam Rider. I mean, Deadly's okay.
I do too.
But I mean, it's just basically a 3/3 for 3. That the worm, I think we were lacking 4 drops. It we have plenty of spells that we can play on the opponent's turn, so I'm on the worm.
Yep, I'm with Worm as well. Of note, remember how we were talking about taking the powerful pick versus the safer pick, even though it was still powerful? Our deck would have 100% had 2 Alchemists right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just something for you guys to learn. We do try to be educational on this show, and that's why I wanted to show you that a lot of times when you see these streamers, myself included, when we pass on a card that seems really fun or really powerful, to take something that looks a little boring, it's because if you're drafting quote unquote like an adult, that card that has a higher chance of making our deck would have been in our deck versus the super cool rare did not. So yeah, we're taking.
But we also not to get married to your first pick, which is important to do.
Yeah. Very good call. Very good call. Yeah, true. We did show you something else, which is, we've talked about plenty of times on the show. Your pack 1 pick 1 is your least informed pick, and that's the one you have to be prepared to let go of the most. And yeah, it totally worked out. Okay.
Yeah, I think in this format, like more than any I've played, like I think being in the open lane matters so much for how successful you'll be.
Yeah, I was just saying, even missing the Alchemist, it's still obviously we were in the right lane and the deck seems powerful, even though we're down 1 Alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
So because we're in the right lane, I'm pretty sure here.
Yeah,
this spec's interesting.
The last thing I will say, the only thing that makes me a little iffy about our deck is just the fact that we're mainly time, and we're still running Forgeborn and Corrosive Dagger that want heavy fire influence. Luckily, Forgeborn comes down at 7, so it gives us time. And unlike you said, Alex, we're fine if we play Dagger on a unit and then just get 1 Rustling. So,
and like right now, I'm feeling pretty comfortable just basically having a split mana base. Like approximately 8 and 8, or sorry, like 9 and 9 or something like that. Because we have 3 Grodov Evangels, to help shore up the time requirement and a time symbol.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So like I think we're pretty okay on time, at least. I would still love a fire symbol or something like that, but I think we're okay.
All right. Pick 42. We have our Trail Torch Cinderpaw is a 2/2 elemental cat for 4 fire. Charge, summon, plus attack equal to the highest attack among your other units. A Flameheart Patroller, a 1/3 Sentinel for 2 fire. Surge, plus 2 attack this turn. And then a Battery Mage, a 5/3 Mage for 5 time. +1 maximum power. Surge, +1 maximum power. I like Flameheart Patroller, but I like it better in Rakano, or to a lesser extent, Stone Scar. I think Praxis doesn't really take advantage of the Surge ability on it, especially since we passed on the 2 big spells that give you influence at fast speed. I actually like Battery Mage here. We only have 1 5-drop, and it helps. It's another way to bridge the gap into Marizo and Forgeborn. So it does put us. Oh, actually, we can cut Machinist anyway. So we're at 19 units if we cut Machinist, technically counting the Humbug Nest. So I think, I think I'm personally on Battery Mage here. I am still very low on Trail Torch. I think I've died to it once. And I mean, the opponent was already kind of winning anyways. Flameheart Patroller.
Right.
Go ahead.
Like we have some big attack units, but like surely we're already doing just fine with just those. I like Battery Mage as well.
Put your batteries on.
Energizer Bunny. Boom.
Yes.
Oh, we got rewarded.
Sweet.
There you go. So we just talked about how we were heavy on units. So this may be an easier way to, and this is why I do encourage people to build your deck as you're drafting, because this may have been a tougher decision until you've heard us talk about the draft. Eager Deputy, Blur Haze Worm, and Fire Symbol. Alex, you want to break this down?
So we were just talking about how we could really use some fire boosting to the power, and the fire symbol is just going to do that perfectly here. We have one Blur Haze Worm. I'm okay with not two, and I'm not a big fan of the Deputy. I would be okay with either of those guys if we needed units, but I think we need the power more right here.
Of note, just before you jump in, John, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4,
A lot.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spells. We have a couple more, but I'm counting the ones that I discounted the ones that are probably gonna get caught. We have 9 things that we could play on our opponent's turn. Okay, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I mean, we would love another Blur Haze Worm, but like I definitely want to take this fire symbol. like, yeah, like we also have Praxis Displacer and like turn back. Like we have so many ways to make use of a Blur Haze Worm. But yeah, I'd rather just have more consistency, being able to play our Stone Powder Bomber and our Forgeborn. So fire symbol's looking pretty sweet.
Yep, that's the adult pick.
Also help the dagger.
I didn't catch that. Sorry.
Okay, it helps with dagger.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. Overheating mini bot that we don't want to play, and Land's Edge that we have no stun units. So another corrosive dagger. Yeah, we'll take that. There's nothing else here. There's a vow, but it's Huru, false demise and shatter. So we'll take the corrosive dagger. Grizzled quick shot, audacious ruse, and boulder gate guard. We'll take the quick shot. False demise can go in the market, and our last pick is another grizzled quick shot. I'm gonna go ahead and just put both of those in the market. This deck does not care about the go wide. So okay, let's see. So let me just go ahead and do the automatic add power. It's at 18, perfect. And we'll look, let's see, 3 cuts here. So I'm thinking the envelope, slag, and then one more.
Yep.
We're at 20 units. So do we want to be a little heavier on units, or do we want to maybe, I don't know, cut a dagger, chemical rounds?
It's either like a dagger or a Sarasaur, I think. As far as what I'm looking at.
My only concern is the fact that we only have 4 3-drops, and one of them I really don't like playing on 3, which is the Might Weaver, just because I want our opponent to use all the removal first before we play it. So,
Sand Warrior is like also basically a 3-drop.
Yeah,
in my mind.
fair. So I'm actually on a corrosive dagger personally.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I like the potential a lot of power after you play Totem Pioneer into baying Sarasaur. That's a crazy turn 4.
Well, what were you gonna say, John? You had something to say?
I was just like, I mean, we have a lot of units, so like I'm not worried about it, but like dagger is really good with Totem Pioneer.
Oh yeah, fair.
Having extra dudes to just throw at the enemy.
Actually, you know what? Never mind. Yeah, you guys just sold me on it too, because dagger is a 3 cost, and it will at the very least make a unit. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. So what do we want to cut? The Sarasaur?
Maybe. I feel like that's probably your weakest unit, because it's like just kind of, it's not good on defense usually. I guess there is some synergy with Blur Haze Worm where you could draw cards on the opponent's turn, but like that's a little too cheeky.
I'll be honest with you. I personally don't like Sarasaur. I don't. I think it's too situational.
I don't either.
I'm not a huge fan either. No.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Are you sure, Alex? Like, it's okay if you like it.
I was thinking of the upside of it, and I was in Eternal Christmas Land with the Totem Pioneer and the baying Sarasaur. You know,
Christmas Land.
It's pretty much the best turn that you could do with that, but it's also, like John said, it's the weakest unit, you know?
Yeah, but even then, like, you're going to take your turn 4 off. How much damage is that? It's, let's see, it becomes a 4 and then 8. You get in for 8 overwhelm damage. I mean, that's not bad. That's pretty good turn 4.
No, I'm not just saying. I'm just saying that's a lot of power that you would have potentially to 6, right, on turn 4.
Oh, I got
I'm just
you.
generally low, like on Nightfall in draft too, right?
Yeah, there's sometimes where my opponent was stuck on power and I just had nothing else to play, so I gave him Nightfall, and I was like, man, I rather not wanted to do that.
Right, and like that one damage can sometimes matter.
I've like not played the Sarasaur when I had a unit out and we were top decking to like not get my opponent an extra card, you know?
Right, it can be awkward like that. So
yeah, okay, fair enough. So we'll cut the Sarasaur. So man, that was easy. See, I love it when a plan comes together. Like done, done skis. Okay,
this deck looks good.
It really does. That probably means I'm not gonna see any of the rares, and I'm gonna get stuck on power, and I'm gonna punt to high heck, and this deck's gonna go like 1 and 3. Anywho, I'll wait. We'll play this deck together.
One time sigil and add a fire sigil.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. All right, yeah.
Maybe even 2.
Let's go real quick to Shiftstone real quick, just to get the flat out numbers. It's fine. We'll talk about it out loud. So those listening to the podcast, I think will be fine. It'll only take me a second here to do this. Okay, so if we plug it into shiftstone.com, oh god, so many influence sigils. Okay, let's see. So our 2 cost, our double time is actually starts off at 76% and then only goes higher all the way up the curve. And then our double fire, which doesn't kick in till Stone Powder Bomber at turn 6, is 72% on curve, with obviously a huge dip to our Forgeborn going from 72 to 50% chance to play Forgeborn on curve. Disappear is 54% on curve, which we're obviously not too worried about. We're rarely going to be playing it on turn 6 unless we're in real trouble. So that is in consideration the fact that we also have triple Grodov's Evangel, and we're still only just slightly above 50%. With the current build of 6 Fire Sigil, 1 Fire Symbol, 1 Granite Waystone, 1 Time Symbol, and 9 Time Sigils, we're at 14 Time and 9 Fire, and that's what it looks like. So I'm kind of okay with this. Honestly,
that sounds good.
Yeah, I don't really think I want to go down anymore. Just to find out for science, go up a fire, down a time. What does that do? Our double time is what? Oh shoot, I actually didn't go down that far. Double time went from 75 to 74 or 71. So that's a 4% drop. Sand Warrior obviously went way down. Sand Warrior is down to 30 something. We're not worried about that. And then Disappear goes sub 50%. But the Forgeborn goes to 58%. So, I think I still
it's close.
I think I still like it the other way around, honestly. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Like 50% versus 58% on turn 7. I guess that's probably a good enough reason, right? Like getting Forgeborn down on curve is pretty powerful.
And like it also helps us like play a dagger, a little sooner.
Oh,
and
yeah,
a little better.
Yeah, the thing is really that Disappear is the only thing that's messing up our time. If not, we really wouldn't have had an issue going heavier fire. But Disappear, I mean, we don't want Alchemist to be our only form of removal, because if they play a flyer, we can't, so we're just kind of done skis. Or if it has Overwhelm, it's still... So yeah, I'm good with 10-13. I could do that. And then, sometimes we just end up sandbagging Disappear. Do you guys think that's worth it?
I think so. I think pillage and chemical rounds will help with flyers if that's what you're running into.
Okay. Is there a consideration to just cut Disappear? No, right? That was nothing that we cut that really is better than Disappear.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Okay, cool. Then yeah,
it would be like cut Disappear, add a 19th power, like.
Yeah, which honestly I don't necessarily hate that actually.
No, I don't hate it. It is a consideration.
I mean, we don't hate going to 9 power with Forgeborn because it hits the ultimate. Do we have any plunder? We don't have any plunder. Man, that actually is a very good.
We have 1 Alchemist.
Oh yeah, the Alchemist. Man, I actually don't hate that. Am I crazy? I mean, it just increases our consistency on Forgeborn and Marizo. And we have a power dump in both Forgeborn and Total Pioneer.
Yeah, I just don't ever want to be defensive with this deck. So like, yeah, disappear would be like a safety valve or whatever, but I don't think it's like really what we want to be doing. But like, I don't know. I could be
That's
convinced either
weird
way
to say
easily.
and add a power to it.
Say that
Like,
again,
that's-
Alex.
It's like weird to say you want to be aggressive by adding a power to the deck. Usually you want to cut power. I like one disappear.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
If I thought we were gonna, like, me and John are right on the precipice, man. Honestly, if you said one thing about it, it would have been like done, cut, disappear. But all right, are we gonna go to 7 and 7, or are we gonna keep it at 6 fire and 9 time? Alex,
if we're playing disappear, I think we keep it like this. I
yeah.
guess.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. That's fine. So we'll keep it 9-6. All right, guys. So the deck is 1 Sand Warrior, Apprentice Mage, Desert Alchemist, 3 Grodov Evangel, Magnificent Stranger, Total Pioneer, Might Weaver, 2 Sand Tornado, Blur Haze Worm, Panoptic Guardian, Battery Mage, Praxis Displacer, Stone Powder Bomber, Forgeborn, Marizo Gladiator Hero, 2 Corrosive Dagger, Chemical Rounds, Rampage, Teleport, Humbug Nest, Pillage, Turn Back Time, Disappear, 6 Fire Sigil, 9 Time Sigil, 1 Fire Symbol, 1 Granite Waystone, and 1 Time Symbol. I will screenshot this and obviously upload it to Eternal Warcry, where I will also put a link to it in the show notes, and then we'll play the games out separately and then probably post in the Discord how the deck do or something like that. But I am going to wait so I can play with you guys since we drafted this deck together. But man, this deck looks super fun. Oh my gosh, super fun. I gotta admit, this was probably a phenomenal deck for this podcast. Like, this was perfect. Like, we had decision point. It was just great.
Yeah, I just hope that we get 7 wins like our last podcast draft.
Oh, true. Yeah. Let me mark it real quick. Oh man, that was great. I like that a lot. Oh, that was so much fun. See, this is exactly why I like drafting. And then all the people are like, "Oh my god, these nerds!" When we went crazy when we opened up the Might Weaver and nerded out. Oh my god!
Ah!
All right,
we do get pretty excited while we're drafting.
That was amazing. All right, that is gonna do it for that part. So let me get my show notes back up, which is that was our main topic, which was the draft. So we hope that this gave you guys a little bit of insight as far as how we approach the drafting process. I mean, obviously we kind of overlap a little bit with each other because we've been drafting and hanging out so long, but you still see some variance in some of the picks and the way we approach it. So I do encourage to let you know that this is a way to draft, not the way. So things obviously change depending on the drafts and the ways things come up. You saw sometimes where we valued a card higher than another one, but then when it was matched up against another card later in the pick or how our deck looked, that we adjusted our value of said card. But that's how we draft Argent Depth so far. And I feel like we've been pretty consistent about that. I haven't really changed my drafting process too much, except the fact that I try not to be as open in pack 1 as far as like, oh, let me just take 5 different color cards. I normally try to lock in one color as best as I can and then really wait to get that second color in pack 2 or 3. But okay, that's going to do it, guys, which goes into our What's the Play. And hopefully this one has quite a few decisions. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I came up with like 6 lines of play when I did this today, ironically. So hopefully you guys can shine some light and we don't all agree on the same thing, but we do. Okay, our opponent is on Huru and we are on Huru. It is our turn 4. We have 4 power open. Let's see, we're both at 25, so it's pretty early in the game, of course. Our opponent has a 2/2 Overwhelm Evangel and a 2/1 Yeti Patroller or whatever. The guy that
Taunt Patrol.
Yeah, there you go, Taunt Patrol. Which is funny because I like this card, but I can't remember the name. Anywho, every time Surge, it the opponent will ping themselves. So we will ping ourselves for 1 damage. We have a Caravan Guard in play, which is the 3/5 that cannot attack unless you have 5 Justice Influence. In our hand, we have Shifting Illusion, which is the 1/1 plunder that we talked about. A Frostkin, which is the 3/3 for 4 that stuns an enemy unit. A Siphoner Paladin, a Tainted Mark, which is the 5 primal curse from last format, where if any of your units hit the enemy player, if the enemy player takes damage, I forgot what the exact wording is, but long story short, you hit them, you draw a card. And then Wind Conjuring and Water Conjuring. Woot woot. The 2 best conjurings in the game. In our hand, we have no 5th power because it's our 4th turn. And yes, so let's start off with you, Alex. Give me your top 2 considerations here.
So the Shifting Illusion. So I'm thinking of playing the Shifting Illusion, turning my Tainted Mark into a Primal Sigil, sacrificing the Tainted Illusion with the Paladin to get the 3/3, and then killing, whichever one over there, the 2/1, probably to not take a damage next turn, and then just have the 1/5, the 3/5, and my weapon back, and then have my 5th power for, I don't know what else is in the deck, but I'm assuming you have 5 drops. But yeah, that's my first line. The second line would be to, I don't know, you can't attack with a 3/5.
No, you need 2 more justice.
I mean, if I want to get to 5, would be to maybe play the Tainted Mark, but I don't know what else I'd want to turn into a power other than the Tainted Mark. With the Shifting Illusion, you could play the Shifting Illusion, not turn anything into anything, and then play the Paladin and do that, kill the 2/1.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I guess. But that's probably what I would do.
Okay. All right. John?
Did you already play a power this turn, Jedi? I feel like you did, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So this is like pretty awkward, honestly. Like, there's a lot of conflicting things like in my mind here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, if you play the illusion, like, you want to plunder because right now you need justice and you want to hit that 5th power pretty bad. You also don't want to sacrifice the illusion because you have Tainted Mark, and it's like the only way that you can just easily just draw cards. You don't want to play Frostkin because nothing is attacking you anytime soon. Like, this is just so awkward. So I guess the only things I'm really considering here are play Shifting Illusion and like not plunder and then just cross my fingers, but that seems pretty medium. And then the other thing I'm thinking of is like literally just pass the turn. So that's also pretty medium. But I don't know. This is like I don't want to transform either of your conjurings. I don't want to transform the paladin because that's looking great here too. We're not in any danger. Like, I'm not. Obviously, we want to start attacking, but we have so much value and no threats right now. Like, I'm seriously considering just passing the turn.
Okay, cool. So my play was I was kind of in between you guys. So I went through some serious decision points here, but I felt going up against Huru that having the Frostkin and double conjurings gave us. Huru doesn't have many things to do in the air unless you get the uncommon. I mean, I take that back. Huru has some things in the air. They have Brood, they have the Serpent, they have the Illusion, and they have both Serpents, the 3/3 and the 3/4.
Tinker.
Yeah. Well, we're a long ways out from Smogwig, and that was part of my consideration. And so I got a little greedy here. I know it's not characteristic, but sometimes I like going outside my norm, and I actually went greedy here. And so I know my luck, and I know whenever I really need to hit that next power, I don't for like 4 turns. Mm-hmm. So I did some serious thinking, and because I know we have Smogwing Tinker, and because I know we have the Caravan Guard on the ground, I actually played the Shifting Illusion, and because I wanted to get some kind of value, I actually went ahead and plundered the Siphoner Paladin, believe it or not. And here's my logic behind it. One, it's what I just said, that our deck wants to hit our Justice Influence. But two, I don't want to sacrifice the 3/5. I don't want to sacrifice the 3/3. So the Illusion is the only card that we would sacrifice to be power efficient here and play the Siphoner. And because I don't want to sack it, well, then what good is the Siphoner doing for me? And so that is why I plundered it. I felt like I had a higher chance of getting more value out of the Illusion drawing us cards with a Tainted Mark next turn and that would potentially draw us out of whatever lack of resources I have from sacking the Siphoner, and that would lead us to winning the game. I will say that the Illusionist, obviously hindsight is 2020. Sometimes I say we lose because of a decision, but I did end up drawing. That Illusion never died. And in fact, I used the Wind Conjuring to kill their Serpent on the Illusion. So we drew a bunch of cards off of that. That being said, I actually also really do like Alex's line of being proactive there and just playing it, not plundering it all, sacking it, and then getting a potential 2-for-1 out of it. Especially Huru, they have some tools to getting a weapon out of the board, but then again, like, what are you really losing because of that? So that was what I took. I don't know. So you guys can berate me. How horrible was that of a decision to plunder the Paladin?
I definitely wouldn't have done that, but like, I don't think it's crazy.
Are you sure? Because your laugh makes me feel like you do.
I mean, it's just that 3/3 weapon literally kills both of the enemy's units. So I guess that does seem kind of crazy to me, actually.
Yeah, but like, what are those two? What's a 2/2 and a 2/1 doing in front of a 3/5?
Well, nothing.
Like they can't.
Well, the 2/1 will just damage you like every turn, basically.
I mean,
that does something, but
because even a Mighty Leap, or gosh darn it, I just corrected myself.
So you're one of those guys.
A Valiant Leap. What?
I know somebody was talking.
Yeah, it was Extinction. I know. I corrected it too. It's oh gosh darn it. Defiant. No, not Defiant. Valiant Leap. There you go. Valiant Leap is the biggest tool that Huru has, other than, I mean, they have. If they burn a Victor's Cry on my 3/5, I'm happy about that. If they burn a Wind Conjuring on it, we're happy with that, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm just looking at this board going like, I'm just gonna chill. Like I feel like just chilling is like the safe thing to do, but I mean, it's definitely not being proactive.
Okay.
But,
Alex, how whack do you think I am?
I kind of like your in-between line, I think. I mean, it ended up you winning the game.
This turned out to be a good one because all three of us are completely on different pages here.
Yeah.
Right. I would have turned the one card you wanted to save into the power. Because I was just thinking I'm going to draw bomb cards off of my invokes, my Winvokes. That's was replacing my Tainted Mark for me. That's why I thought that line. But, that's why Eternal is great.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, this one's gonna be a fun one. I definitely agree with you guys. Yeah, I 100%. It did cross my mind. I got greedy. I'm not gonna lie, because when I was looking, I was like, I should probably just pledge or plunder the Tainted Mark. I really should, because everything else is strong. But I just got greedy.
You need Justice though, not Primal.
I just got greedy. I was like, I want to draw cards, and I got busted cards in my hand, so we're fine. All right, cool. So that's our what's the play. Since all three of us had different decisions, please let us know somehow on Discord, on this YouTube, whatever, comments below what you guys would pick, because I think it was great. I'm probably going to put this in an article on Eternal Warcry, so you guys can leave comments there as well. But that is our what's the play of the week, which brings us to our constructed corner. Today's constructed corner is going to be a gauntlet deck, but not just your average gauntlet deck. This is your Huru Blitz Gauntlet Speedrun deck by Enroush1. That's right, a favored guest of the show. The guy has been absolutely tearing apart the AI challenges speed running them, i.e., tuning decks for quality assurance and just consistency to crush the computer as fast as possible. Currently, Enrosh is the world record holder of Gauntlet, being sub 12 minutes. I believe his record is 1150 something. I could be wrong. I'm posting the video on the YouTubes as well about his run, but he did that with a Rakano deck. I know it's Rakano, guys. It's just an inside joke. But this deck is a Huru deck that he gave it to me when I was doing speedrunning in his honor, and managed to lock up a second place world record. I don't even know if that's world record. What is that called when you're second place? Just first loser or not fast enough? Not world record?
Runner up.
Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, I mean, we'll say first loser for me. If any of you guys dethrone me, then you guys are like awesome and runner up winner.
Second best.
Yeah, there you go. This Huru deck took me to a 12-minute and 42-second finish, and there were one I punted that cost, I didn't punt, but I misclicked, that cost me about somewhere between 7 to 9 seconds, and I was not doing the early concession cheat glitch tactic to shave off about 4 or 5 seconds every run. But yeah, 12:42, I finished the entire all 7 win gauntlet with this Huru build. Once again, shout out to Inrush for giving me the list. This deck will cost you 35,900 shiftstone with does not include campaign cards, which off the top of my head, looking at it, I don't really know which ones are the campaign cards. So real quick, breaking down the deck. Let me switch views.
I don't think there are any.
Okay, I guess it just always says that then?
It does, yeah.
Oh, okay. That was my bad then. Okay, guys. 4 District Infantry, 4 Elder Feather, 4 Fearless Crescendo, 4 Finest Hour, 4 Gift of Battle, 4 Permafrost, 4 Shinra Unbreakable, 4 Trickshot Ruffian, 4 Master at Arms, 4 Invigorate, 4 Wilgon's Disciple, 4 Verit Hero in Training, 2 Yeti Griffin Rider, 7 Justice Sigil, 2 Primal Sigil, 4 Huru Banner, 4 Huru Insignia, 4 Huru Vow, and 4 Seat of Order. You will notice that there is no market despite having the Fearless Crescendo. That is part of the reason why you shave off time, is having a market increases the animations that happen that aren't really necessary. You just use the Crescendo to give your Rilgon's Disciple or one of your units flying permanently. The main purpose of this deck is to get a 1 or 2 drop down aggressively, pump it with Master of Arms, and then take it to the skies with Berserk and trigger double damage and do all kinds of insane damage to the computer, essentially doing what the old Blitz decks used to do and power out somewhere between 16 to 28 points of damage in a single turn. The deck is great. It's great against Gauntlet. Don't know how it is on ladder, but you can consider it. Blitz decks always have the chance of getting underneath your opponent's strategies and punishing them for missing power or missing influence, etc., etc. But against the computer, it was consistently winning by turn 4 or 5 for the most part. You typically want to get up to about 3, sometimes 4 power, so you can do the Reinvigorate. Another thing of note is that Reinvigorate gives your unit a +1/+1 for each battle skill it has. So you want to wait to do it until you trigger the Berserk on your attacking unit, because the unit will also gain a Reckless that will give it the extra +1/+1 there. So that's a small trick of the trade. The expensive cards are Verit Hero in Training and Shinra Unbreakable, that are both legendary units. I believe Enrosh said that Shinra Unbreakable is interchangeable with another potential aggressive 1-drop, but the Verit being able to go with Overwhelm has overperformed for him. So yeah, the deck was a lot of fun to play. Like I said, I did it literally my first time that day. It wasn't my first speed run, but it was my first speed run that day with this deck. And yeah, crushed it, going for a 12-minute 42-second record with it. So link is going to be in the show notes down below. I hope you enjoy. Oh shoot, I have a wow. Actually, that's so funny. Someone left a comment and it's totally about not the market, so I'll have to respond to them. Or they'll listen to this podcast. But yeah, that is the you guys saw the speed run. I don't know, give me your feedback on it.
Yeah, it was cool. That was fun to watch. Yeah, I think this deck is very well constructed. It does exactly what it's trying to do. And yeah, it was cool. I think you could have, with some optimizations, beaten next time with that run that you were talking about.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Maybe we'll see. It stresses me out, like, not gonna lie.
Yes.
Just every single second, you're just like, oh god, misclicked. Hurry, do this, and it's just like, oh, yeah, like
no, and like you literally need to be like calculating lethal like so quickly and so far in advance. Like I was getting a little stressed out too. I'm like, oh no, like because like every like additional unit you're sending in is like costing you time. Like every spell that you're playing over lethal is costing you time. Like, and so if you're not thinking about that like in advance perfectly, you're gonna lose time. And yeah, I witnessed a lot of that. And it just adds up. It's so crazy, like how tight this is.
Alex, do you have anything?
It makes Gauntlet. Usually you let your Gauntlet game just sit there, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm in a Gauntlet game." It's like the opposite of that. Yeah, it makes Gauntlet exciting, like it. And I did not think this format
didn't know
had
it could be exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're working on potentially doing a tournament soon. We gotta work out the logistics and stuff. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So we jump into the prime time, right? They have speed runs for all kinds of games. Now we're gonna have potentially Eternal, the community once again. If you guys are interested in seeing Enroush's world record run, you can check it out both on my YouTube and I believe on the VODs on his Twitch. I'm sure he saved it as a clip or whatnot. Of course, on the YouTube video, you can check it out with the interview. We are watching his VOD, and then I have him coming on Discord and talking about the run. It was super insightful. Talks about techniques and the thought process and whatnot. So definitely check that out as well. But that's going to do it for our constructed corner. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, thank God. I almost forgot. Thanks to Collector breaking this down for us. One other snippet I wanted to put out there, because as there is now a solid organized play schedule for Eternal, I did want to mention the way that the tournament tiebreakers work for things like the ECQ and whatnot, because they are different from other games. At least I know the way I interpret them. Collector was kind enough to come in the Discord and break it down for us as we had a discussion. And I think it's important for everyone to know how tiebreakers work. So Direwolf does tell you that there is absolutely no advantage or disadvantage to play a tournament whenever. You could play as early or as late, or spread them out across the entire X amount of time that Eternal gives you for said tournament. And for the most part, that is true. But for those min-maxers out there, or people that just want to know how things work, a lot of times you see players, when they finish their run, they will post their current ranking and say, hope it holds, etc., etc. Initially, so tiebreakers, the way tiebreakers work is that it uses the record of your opponent, the people that you place, to help you go be ranked higher or lower based up against people of your same record. So for example, you will see that there's X 10s, right? So in the last tournament, it was 18 and 10s. I think they said there was 16 8 and 10s, and 10 of them didn't make day 2. And you're wondering, they all had the same record. How did that happen? Well, the records of their opponents is what gave them those percentage points behind the scene for the ranking of the X10s. So the biggest detail about this that Collector pointed out to help you figure that out is the way that tiebreakers are calculated is that it counts your opponent's record at the time that you play them. So, for example, if you play player Y and you lose to them, but it is early in their climb, maybe they just started maybe 30 minutes ago, so they only have 3 or 4 games in their belt. Even if they finish top 5, which should essentially give you a great tiebreaker because that was a very skilled player, you will only get credit for whatever their record was when they played you. So let's say it would be 3-1 or 3-0 instead of the full whatever, I don't know, give me a record, 20, 22 and 6. So that's pretty much all there is to it. I don't want to get too wordy about it. John, you're normally good about clearing up my nonsense. Do you have another way to describe it? One last thing to clarify as well. So using just the tiebreaker thing, aside from all other things like when it's convenient for you to play and how life happens and taking a break, etc., playing people later in the tournament when they have a higher chance of having a bigger record, not better, just bigger, could benefit you. But obviously that is completely up to chance. A lot of people can start late at the same time. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get someone with a bigger record, etc., but that is a slight skew. So those people that normally fire off the run as soon as possible, they're losing that little bit of min-max percentage points. But obviously if you're a great player like Sunnyvale that is just going to have a winning record, or the Boxer anyways, where they're not really worried about tiebreakers, then obviously that doesn't matter. I think I covered everything. John, simplify it for me, please.
I can't simplify it much. I think it's a confusing thing to talk about, so it's not intuitive at all. In my experience, so far every ECQ I've done, I've finished basically at the buzzer. So I started pretty much as late as you can. So I mean, there's like a less chance that when I'm starting, like the people I'm playing, they're probably some of them could also be starting out too, but when you start right when the tournament starts, literally everyone has no record. So you're guaranteed, to be matched with people with no records, right? So it makes sense what you're saying in that regard. And I've had good tiebreakers every ECQ. Like if I was in that cutoff range, I've been like in the top, 3 people in my range or whatever each tournament. And I never really thought too much about it, but it does line up with my experience. And like like you said, Direwolf definitely says it doesn't matter, but I don't know that they're specifically referring to tiebreakers, right? Like I think they're just trying to assure you that they're not going to change like who you're playing or the quality of your opponents or anything like that, which I feel like is true. But yeah, there is like an asterisk there that they don't mention, which is what you just described. So I think you did a good job. And it's something that people should know about.
Sweet. All right. Shout out to Collector, of course, for breaking that down for us. Another guest of the show. Phenomenal guy. Qualified for Worlds already. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Great drafter across the board. And that's going to do it for our Constructed Corner this time. So one last thing I have in the closing statement. Shout out to the Backlash podcast. They used to be strictly Eternal. Now they talk about all things. It is T-Chamber 5 and Notorious GHP. They mentioned us on the podcast. They had mainly the Discord, but they had a question. One of their patrons asked them what the alignment according to D&D is for all the Scions, and then which one they would be. And somehow they decided to ask our Discord, or ask me, or ask us. They asked EternalJourney. So I went ahead and posed the question from our Discord, and I got you guys the answer. So real quick, Roland is the epitome of lawful neutral. Caleb is probably neutral good. Vara is chaotic neutral. Elin, I don't know why I'll never get that name. I need to pay attention to every time the developers say it, is lawful good. Talir is true neutral, and that's pretty much because she doesn't care about anything except their quest for knowledge, no matter the cost. And then Svetya is lawful good. So there you go, buddies. Thank you guys for continuing your great content. Really do appreciate it. So if you guys haven't listened to them, give them a listen to and see if they're your cup of tea. But they're great guys. I listen to them, obviously. And thanks for giving us the indirect shout out. So yeah, that's the only additional thing. So that's going to do it. You guys can catch all these great things, including the video version of this show on YouTube. Just search up youtube.com/EternalJourney. Catch us streaming live every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday at twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ. And then, of course, once again, like I mentioned, Discord, it is a phenomenal place. I feel like we're adding a new channel every other week because the community is just growing and we're appealing to so many people, all kinds of different games. And just like, oh man, it's so great. We just had a new streamer. Transmit and Receive is up there streaming in the Discord, learning how to draft. I was actually there helping him with Satan clauses to get him to Masters. He drafted this sweet Stone Scar deck and was just running over people with it. So shout out to them. It was great. And we have a couple other people streaming on there, co-op drafting, as well as just posting their picks on the Discord and having discussions. We're getting a lot more constructed decks on there, a lot more sealed decks, and I love brewing. And I feel like I've talked about the Discord a lot, so I'm going to move on because I hate feeling like I'm rambling when our podcast is so long. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can catch John and Alex all the time on all the Discords because they are amazing, as well as the stream. Show them some love. We've gotten a lot of great feedback to Alex and John's mono red deck that we posted last week. So thank you guys for that. Give them some love. Darth Herman 2 and Johnholio in game if you guys play them on the ladder or on the drafts. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That'll do it. So until next time, as always, happy gaming.
Bye.
Look at your draft cues, everyone.